Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Damn, we're going to be looking on the test server here at Alice and how she's going to help your event dungeon growth. She's actually insane. She's a really, really strong champ. And I've scaled back my gear a ton to see if she can help us get through earlier stages right up to stage 20 of event dungeon. Check out what's going on and then I'll show you a build. So first off, we're going to start with very early game. Now, what do we want to do with event dungeon? Pretty much, if you are doing a dungeon divers, any sort of event where you farmed out the first thing that you need to do for like a fusion, flip to event dungeon. Get yourself pinpoint gear. It's really, really strong. It's really helpful for builds. And as long as you can farm stage 13 and up, it's well worth your time. Okay, so I'd say 13 is kind of where you want to get to because you start to get 4 to 6 star gear. Ideally, you push to 20 because then it's 5 to 6 star gear. And then obviously when you've got better stats and stuff, you can go to 30, which is a harder fight. But stage 13, let's start here. So what am I doing? I'm bringing in someone who's going to drop the defense of the enemy, someone who's going to give me increased attack, and then Alice. Alice is absolutely like crazy when it comes to damage. Increase attack, drop defense on the enemy, slam dunk the enemy into the deck, and then a bit of a finish off. If I had a 3 back there and she wasn't feared, then she would have just absolutely like slayed everybody. But you can see 3-man squad in it with absolutely no danger whatsoever. And the boss, honestly, is not even that much of a big deal. I would say the boss is not even the problem in this dungeon. The problem is, can you kill the ads? And Alice absolutely nukes the ads into the ground. So again, you can see here, we've absolutely wrecked it. Like, no problem at all. And let me just show you the builds. She's probably like, hold on, HH, that's got to be a crazy build. Arbiter, this is way overtuned. I just need someone who does increase attack before Alice goes. Don't worry about the speeds and stuff. It doesn't need to be anywhere near as fast as that. Alice, I've got her in Savage and Cruel. I've got her at 159 speed, 5.5k attack, because she's got a blessing as well. And then she's at 177 crit damage. She's obviously massively over crit capped because I changed out of a hard, like really high build to just put crit rate gloves on her to bring her build down to a much lower level. So you guys can see just how much work she does with like really low stats or minimal stats. She does have Helm Smasher on, which helps. And Spider was just fast enough with enough accuracy to go before the enemy go. So we then say, well, let's ramp it up to stage 20 and look at a team that can get stage 20 done. So I built out this team, which I thought is quite an interesting team. Similar idea in terms of we want Alice to do a lot of the nuking, but now I've got your Carl in for a guaranteed freeze on his A3, someone that we can literally farm over time from the clan shop. I got a Kemptum in there because he just offers a bit of damage and a bit of control. Poison is actually really good at killing the main boss. So once the ads are dead, someone who's done poison is really helpful. And yeah, then we've got Morsian Mage as a cleanser. So yeah, so what we've got here is Spider placing out the drop defense and weaken. You'll see I've got Stone Skin on my cleanser. Could be any cleanser. Alice locks out all of the enemy abilities. We start to take a couple down. These are all frozen anyway. We get the cleanser. She actually ripped off our Stone Skin, which is a bit annoying. You could go high resistance on your cleanser just to make sure it happens. But you can see here, lockout again. Very easy. And at this point, one of the best ways to kill this boss is actually through poison, which a Kemptum's really good for, to get the sort of final bit of killing done. But Alice does a ton of damage against the boss as well. And really, for a team that's not built like crazy good, quite an easy stage 20 clear. If you don't have, you know, some of those like big champions which do the work, like your Seers and your Newts and all of those kind of champions which we're seeing a lot of to, you know, get the job done. So very achievable kind of like champions to get. Alice doing most of the damage. And you can see there, Alice nearly like 800k damage. Your Carl and a Kempton doing about 400k each. It's not the quickest time in the world, but if it's unlocking stage 20 for you, then it's the way to go. Now, so many options, right? Someone, instead of your Carl, anyone who does like control, decent level control can fill this role. A Kempton is literally in there really to place those poisons when it gets to the final stage. Morsian Mage is in there as a cleanser for me. There's so many options that you could have as a cleanser. Someone who's just going to cleanse fears off of your team. Or you could straight up just replace it with someone like a Shamal, who's going to make sure that you don't get feared at all. There's the champion that recently got buffed, Tremeria, also is now a really good option for this, by the way. Spider, if you've got Lydia, if you've got Draco, I mean, there's so many, again, options that you could put in there for this champ. And then obviously Alice is just coming in as our champion that we've all just picked up. Now, if we look at the builds that I'm running here, your Carl just needs to be the right speed, really. So the enemy need to be just slower than him. So around 180 speed is good. I've got him crit capped with some damage, but you don't need all of the other stats. It's irrelevant to him. Obviously, the more damage you can get, the faster you're going to kill stuff. So if I wasn't doing a low-level build, I would just put some like damage boots on him here. My Alice, you've seen the stats of already. Super slow. Doesn't need to be super slow, just so that I can show you that it's a crap build works, basically, if you don't have good gear. A Kempton, I've got in a stun set. Spider, I've got just with some perception gear and some speed gear, so over a couple of hundred speed. And then my Morse Mage is just slow, but in stone skin gear. So really, like, super easy to achieve builds to get that done. And then obviously you can use the same concept but ramp it up for 30, but Alice is not gonna Alice can do damage on 30, I think, but you would need big boy pants builds to be able to do the work on 30. And I think Alice can help because of the lockout. I did do an interesting team about a week ago where I used Warlord to lock out the enemy, and I used Geo for my damage. Alice could do the same thing, actually, that Warlord was doing there, but she would have to be fast enough to go before the enemy team, which is like 300 odd speed, which is much harder to achieve. But yeah, for a bit of a budget team, using the champion we just picked up, feels like it's kind of easy. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's going to be it for today. Let me know what type of stuff you want to see around the event dungeon down below, and I'll see you soon.